ones good, ones bad, yeah, they're really always like this. We don't know who's who, but at least we know who Mike is. They love to complain, they got sports on the brain, and they frequently drive each other insane. It's the good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. The good and the bad and the Mike. It's the good and the bad and the Mike.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Good, the Bad and the Mike. As always, I'm Oshin, that's Cian,
Woo!
and that's Mike.
Hello.
So a bit of housekeeping before this one. Now that the NFL season is over, we've decided to start recording on Sundays, so that means that the episodes will be out on Mondays instead of Tuesdays. So
That means we remind you now on Mondays, or do we still remind you on Tuesdays?
yeah, no, you guys have to remind me on Mondays.
Provided that either A, Ushin remembers, or one of us reminds somebody to remind Ushin. So
Yes, you got to remember to remind other
So
people.
they probably already know this, because I assume this episode goes out on Monday.
As long as you remind me,
If you were
it
listening
will.
to this on
But it just
Tuesday,
means
we
that
failed.
it's going forward. Going forward,
Yeah.
it's not just
So
a
wait.
one-time thing, is what I'm saying.
So are we going to put this out on Tuesday as normal, and then start Mondays next week?
No.
You can't just
Yeah, you can't
surprise
just
people
drop
like
it
that.
on the...
No,
Oh,
yeah,
hold on.
just gonna drop it
We're
on.
going to surprise release this
Yeah, it's a surprise drop.
Monday at 5.
Surprise! Yeah, it's perfect.
That's the episode of the title, surprise release.
Surprise release.
Surprise
All right,
release.
that's what we're calling it. Nice. All right. In that case, let's just go straight into.
That's
the
also
news.
joke has been ruined, because I assume they've ruined the title.
Oh
Yes!
damn it.
I think it's still good. I think it still works. But they'll see the creative process that we go through now.
Yeah, exactly. So wait, am I calling this?
Yes.
I'm calling this surprise release.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's kind of funny.
Okay, just double checking. All right, let's go into the news then. Mike, let's go to you first.
Okay, so we'll just take the big news story that's happened in the last 2 weeks, since we didn't do news last week, but we're talking about it now. Kurt Zuma
Yes.
has already won, probably Scumbag of the Year.
Yeah, he's
And we're
up
only
there,
into
alright.
February. We're only into February, and I can't see anyone scoring up more than he has.
He's got to be up there without
Yeah.
a doubt.
Oh, 100%.
So, for those that don't know, he posted a video online. Yes, he posted it. Not
think-
just
yeah.
that was filmed.
Was it him who posted or his brother? Because I know
I
it
think
was
they
his
both
I know
brother.
did.
his brother
They
filmed
both
it.
did.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
both posted it. They both
Fucking
Oh,
idiots.
of him kicking. I'd
His-
like to believe it's his cat.
It is his
I want to
cat.
hope it's his cat.
I don't know if it's better or worse if it's his cat. Either way, come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolute scumbag. And like West Ham came out and said, "Oh yeah, we don't approve," but they didn't drop him or anything. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure he's started in each game since.
And no, he was out for a mysterious illness. Not the one that just happened this weekend, but the one before.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, Michael Antonio did say something that he makes a good point, but I still think he should have been at least dropped for a period of time.
Yeah.
Teammate said, "Do you think what he has done is worse than racism?" I'm not condoning the thing he's done. I don't agree with what he's done at all. But there's people that have been convicted and caught for racism and have played football afterwards.
Yeah, that's
They
fair.
got a
Yeah.
punishment of 8-game punishment or something like that. But people are now calling for people to be sacked and lose their livelihoods. I think he's going on about everyone, the likes of students saying so he should never play football again.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
like-
that's fair. Do players who are like caught being racist is the same response given to that kind of thing?
Yeah. So I did do a bit of research to see.
Yes.
And two I know that were caught. And their punishment. So Suarez, most famously, was given an 8-game ban and fined 40,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Terry was
How
a
long ago
4-match
was
ban
Suarez's
and
thing?
220,000.
Are they? They're both quite old, though, aren't they?
2012 was Terry's. Juarez would have been around then as well,
I was
2010.
thinking it was around there, yeah. Like, that's a while ago. If you had a
Yeah.
more
2011
recent one, yeah,
was
if you had a more
Suarez.
recent one that you could compare it to, but like if someone were to be racist on the pitch today, like they would get far worse
Yeah,
than an
at the
8 game
moment
suspension, you would think.
there's not really players. Like when I type in, it's just fans and mostly hungry fans,
Yeah,
is what I get
that's fair.
posting up.
Fair.
Makes sense.
But
Um,
yeah, so
Yeah, they
once
haven't
again,
announced the suspension yet, have they?
don't condone
no,
Zuma at all, and I feel the club should suspend him for a few games, but I don't think he should be just like never play again.
I'm a big fan of what's his name, Chris Wood, using it as a way to get into Zuma's head in yesterday's 1-1
Blah,
draw
blah,
with
blah, blah, blah,
Newcastle.
blah, blah, blah.
Craig Dawson. I looked at Craig
Uh,
Dawson complain to the referee about it as well, because Chris Wood just kept saying meow to Kurt Zuma. Like, that's one way to get into his head.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of what the Watford fans did. I think the first game back when this broke out with Zuma. Zuma went down from a challenge, and they all started singing "That's how your cat feels" to him.
That's fantastic. I completely missed that.
Top class shithouser.
Yes.
Doesn't get much better than that. But yeah, so we're all in agreement. Kurt Zuma is a scumbag.
Yes.
Yes.
Cian, what news have you got?
Yeah, so this one's been breaking for a while. It has multiple things happening in it. So in the Winter Olympics, Russian Kamila Valieva, 15-year-old. So I believe what
skating.
had happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she did a couple of runs, was in first place. They tested her sample, came back positive for some form of performance enhancing drug, which her whole defense was that she accidentally took her grandfather's heart medication, I
Yes.
think was that one.
Yes.
And since then, she has gone on to, I think she fell a couple of times in her later routines
she
and
fell in
finished
the later
fourth. Now, there is a conspiracy theory that she did it on purpose because they were not going to officially hand out any medals until after the whole thing was finished to see how she did, and they were going to review it all, which caused so many more issues because people are saying now if she tested positive, she should just be out because of it kind of happened particularly to what's called the American sprinter last year, and people were very unhappy with that.
I know she came out. The sprinter came out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was
Sha'Carri Richardson.
But
I was like, yeah.
the thing I would say on that is it's two different organizations, right? So it doesn't matter in that sense. Does figure skating not have its own organization that handles its own claim? And
Well,
the
I
Olympics
figured it'd
is
be
its
done
own
through the
committee.
Olympics.
Yeah, I would have also assumed it was done through the Olympics. But wasn't
I think-
wasn't was it Carrie Richardson, is that her name?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sha'Carri.
Wasn't her thing done by the American
Yeah, USA
team,
Athletic,
the team
most likely.
itself, essentially,
Yeah.
instead of the overall Olympic Committee, which is what would be
could have
handling
been.
this.
Yeah. I was reading that there are apparently some people who believe that because she is 15, that somebody else did it to her, that she wasn't fully aware of it, which is quite bad.
Yeah,
Like, I believe it was someone to it, British Olympic Organization, who's calling for stricter kind of watches on the Russian Olympic Committee thing that they have going now because
I
of.
think I read somewhere that her coach has like a history of essentially
Oh, yeah.
bullying young athletes into doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Similar to
No,
this.
that's fair. Yeah, so I don't know if they'll just
Yeah.
let it stand with the fourth or if she'll get officially disqualified. Which I'd have to imagine if she does, it will lead probably to a couple of year ban from competing, which would be
It would have to.
because like
Wasn't
at
there?
15, I don't know how she would take them knowingly.
Yeah.
You know?
Wasn't there uproar at the start of the Winter Olympics? I don't know if it included figure skating, but about the judging of certain events.
I didn't hear it myself now,
I
but
didn't
it
know.
wouldn't surprise me.
I think there was uproar about I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was uproar about how certain like objective
Mm.
uh events were being scored. So it's not like, you know, you're the fastest, so you win. But it was
Yeah,
more like the figure
Yeah.
skating and stuff like that, where it's up to specific
the
judges.
scoring judges. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. I just thought I heard. Did I hear something say that some athletes were complaining of snow?
There was, I think it was the skiers were having
Yes.
issues because it actually started snowing, and I think it was the way that the real snow mixed with the fake snow was causing
Oh,
issues
fair.
for the skiers. But it's just
Uh,
so funny.
It's good to see that wrestling's not the only sport that's fake.
Um. All right, let's see. Oh, in a similar
Oh,
similar
transition.
story, it was reported today that Britain's 4x100 meter team are to be stripped of their 2020 silver.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah. Canada are going to be upgraded, and I believe it means China are going to get the bronze.
what is this?
I've literally just come across it while we were talking about that, so I've not got all the details, but it was
Ah, so it's
similar.
breaking.
It
You saying
was
it's breaking news?
it actually is. It was only reported today. Due to it was confirmed by the Court of Arbitration for Sport on Friday. Due to CJ Uja's doping violation during the Tokyo Summer
Oh,
Games.
Huh.
They finished
Jesus.
second to Italy by 0.01 seconds.
Mm.
I
Uh,
forgot Italy won that.
Yeah.
But they've been stripped of their medal now, and Canada will receive the silver, with
Jesus.
China moving up to bronze.
That's insane that they're only like, did they just have the sample around? They're still testing athletes from last summer,
Yeah, I think it
or
had
was
to
it?
go through. It had to go through CAS for whatever reason. I don't know
Oh,
if he. It says here he didn't challenge it, but he claimed to unknowingly consume a contaminated supplement.
yeah,
But for
yeah.
some reason, it must have gone to CAS, and they only ruled on Friday, I believe.
Right. Surprised they kept that one under the wraps for so long, because nobody that gets out and. But that's surprising. Fair play to Canada and China then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations to them. Mike, what else have you got?
Okay, so here's a story that has a funny ending as well. That more came on, but then I have to wait to see what happens. So, Newcastle Everton. Some guy took shithousery to a whole new level, and he wore a T-Rex costume behind the net of Jordan Pickford in an attempt to put him off. So that is great pettiness, which I
How would
enjoy.
that put him off?
It's because he's got little arms.
Little arms, that's the joke with Pickford is
But
they
if
always
he's
say
behind him, he wouldn't
because he'll
see.
see him when he has to go get the ball and all that. He knows he's there.
Waiting, watching, always there.
But then a story has broken out, I think this last week as well, was Jordan Pickford was caught up in a pub brawl after lads mocked him for having short T-Rex arms. And one of the quotes is, "All I heard was little arms, and then that's it. It kicked off."
Absolutely incredible.
So it's clearly getting to him, I think. So maybe pile it on
Yeah.
some more. So I'll let you know what happens if more comes from that story.
Keen, what else have you got?
All right, so I got another one here. Building on something we talked about, I think August. So if you remember, I was saying that in the Donegal 2020 Senior Football Championship final, which they had to play in 2021 before the 2021 championship this year, there's a bit of drama because Glenties beat Kilcara in the final on penalties. I think they won the first rounds on penalties, but they'd used an extra sub in the match. So big controversy. And so they didn't rule on it too much earlier in the year because they still had to then do the 2021 championship. And the ruling has come out on it now. and they're going to let them keep the championship and just give them a €5,000 fine, which people are very unhappy about. Because there's all these memes now going about how you can use extra subs in the Donegal Senior Football Championship as long as you have £5,000 per sub, it's fine. So people are a little bit annoyed that they're letting them keep it, but it might be too late now to rerun it. But people were quite annoyed about that.
I can see why they would be.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? What else have I got? Oh, an update to a story that came a few weeks ago when we were talking about Brian Flores,
Yes.
who has been hired by the Pittsburgh Steelers as an assistant coach.
Devastated.
You want him back in the Patriots?
No, he's not. All the stories I heard was we won't hire him because he won't be in DC and he won't take the job unless it's a DC job. I'm reading here. He's just taking. He's not even the DC. He's defensive assistant linebackers coach. I'm like, just take him back.
It's a big drop from a man who,
coach.
when he was originally fired, we all said he'd probably get another another head coach job. That's why he wouldn't go back to the Patriots. And
because it's all Bill's fault for letting this go.
Yeah,
it's never gone back to Bill after that. Like, do we think did he burn too many bridges when he tried to take everyone down with him?
I think so,
he's burnt. Because there wasn't reports then saying when he didn't get the Texan job, he said, "Why didn't I get the Texan job then?"
Yeah.
And he was, from what I get, he's saying, even though the Texans hired a black coach, why wasn't it me?
Pretty much.
And it's like, oh, come on, Brian, don't be like that.
It was a really salty statement he put out that was like, congratulations to the guy who got it, but why wasn't it me, essentially. I was like, alright, mate, calm it down. But yeah,
I think that's all managers' positions are now filled, right?
I believe
Vikings
so.
got theirs, Saints got theirs. I think we're all filled up.
I think, that's all head coaches, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think
Should
the
be,
49ers have a ton of like assistant coaches that they need to fill up now, which is really
So
irritating.
we've been it's a bit of a crisis going on in New England at the moment.
Yeah.
McDaniels took some, and then Ivan Fears is set to retire, and that just leaves we have no offense at the moment. All our offensive coaches are either gone or retiring. Judge has been brought in to help.
Oof.
Oof, indeed.
There was a rumor, and I really hope it's not true, is Matt Patricia's taking the OC job.
In New England?
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Let's see. Mike, you're up next again.
Yes. While we're on the NFL, I'll just mention it. Munich will be hosting its first ever NFL game in the upcoming season.
Oh, really?
Regular season, yeah.
Regular season game.
Any idea on dates or anything?
Yeah, it hasn't said. It just says Munich will be the stage of its first ever game, and Frankfurt will also host a future game, but it doesn't say Frankfurt this season.
That makes sense.
Fair.
Just says
And
at some
if
point Frankfurt will get one.
Munich are getting a game this season, is London still going to have a game as well?
I don't know. I assume so.
They might just split it up like they had two London games last year.
Yeah, so it might just be
one London, one Munich.
Probably,
So that would mean there'll be 3 games in the season. That is 3 or 4. Do Mexico get 2?
Mexico get 1, I think, don't they?
I don't know if they get 2. That's what I'm saying, because I know London gets 2.
But if
I would have said 1, but I could be wrong.
I think Mexico only has 1. But if one of the London games is moved to Munich, that would make sense, and have like 1 in. Yeah, 1 Mexico, 1 London, 1 Munich, and then the rest normal.
So let's just hope the Patriots get.
Patriots the bike on tour goes to Munich.
Hey, if the Patriots get to Munich, Jakob Johnson can fulfill his dream of playing an NFL game in front of home fans.
That's actually, they might push that angle.
I really hope so. Munich confirmed. Bill on tour.
I can't see anything about total number of games, but apparently the Jags have confirmed they're playing in London this year again.
Oh, yay. More Jags in London.
More
So
Trevor.
Munich it is.
Just what we want. What if the 49ers come to Munich? Oh, that'd be great.
Let's see. If the 49ers go to Munich, how do the Patriots go to Munich?
Yeah, that's true. They don't. So,
Oh.
tough shit. Oh yeah, Munich and Frankfurt will host 2 NFL regular season games each over the next 4 years. So I would assume
Just
then
2 each?
Frankfurt is. Yeah,
Oh, wait.
the way that
I read
reads
that
is
as
like
per
2
year.
seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like maybe
I
it's
suppose it makes sense. It's
Munich,
one
Frankfurt,
at
Munich,
each.
Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one German game a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Alright.
according to Roger Goodell.
And he should know.
Commish. The new
The
commish.
commish.
The
The
commish.
Allianz Arena. Oh, hold on.
I
One of
wonder what kind of
5
turf that
international series games. So Mexico must have 2 then.
Yeah, I assume
So
it
it
would make
must
sense
be
that
Mexico
gets
2.
2 in Mexico,
Yeah,
2
2
in
in
London,
London, 1
Yeah.
in Munich.
1 in
It
Germany.
would make sense for
Yeah.
Mexico, because I wouldn't see why Mexico only get 1 and the UK gets 2.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh no.
No?
Sorry. Update. Further on in this article, if I had known about this beforehand, I would have read it before. But the 2022 International Series will include the Munich game, a game in Mexico, and 3 in the UK.
Oh my god.
2 of which will be held at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and the Jaguars
Wembley?
will be at Wembley.
Ooh.
And then Frankfurt is in
Interesting.
2023.
Alright. So our
9
chances just got higher.
9 German
Watch the game.
cities had expressed interest in becoming the host.
Or we
That's
just
impressive.
so we go into all 3 games.
I don't see what 4. Let's go to Munich as well.
Or all 4. I
Fuck
mean,
it.
I'm not saying no.
I probably am,
the
but we'll see.
Panthers, Patriots, Buccaneers, and Chiefs were the 4 teams awarded marketing rights in Germany as part
Oh
of the
my God.
International Home Marketing Area Initiative.
Oh my god. If this team, I don't care if you say going.
That's very fair.
Yeah, 100% that's fair.
I'll phone in and we have Mike live on the pitch.
As he gets tackled by security. I'm running.
That's going to be quite interesting, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, alright. I am 100% down for going to Munich.
Yeah, I do like Munich.
Yeah, cheaper holiday than London.
Oh, that's actually
Well, look,
fair,
why don't we just go all 4? Fuck it, let's go to Mexico as well. We'll do 5. All 5
why
international
not?
series games. Then the pod will
Alright.
really be on tour.
That's it. With your help, subscribe, and we might make this a reality.
Ho The 49ers are one of the teams that are in the HMA group in the UK.
Oh,
So I'm pretty
Pictures
hopeful.
come out in May. Is it August? April they come out? Or is it May?
I can't remember what it was last year.
August sounds accurate. It was decently late, so it could be July or August.
I know it's its own day itself that they make a whole thing out of it on the sports analyst.
I don't think it. I don't think
I
it
thought
was
it's early.
August. I thought it was earlier.
I thought it was
than that.
early. Yeah, 'cause they
Um,
you have to get the planning and all. I'm pretty sure it's before the draft. But
No,
I
it's
could
not
be
before
I
wrong.
the
think it's
draft.
after the draft. The NFL is expected to release its regular season schedule by May 2022.
Okay.
But they announced the London games after that. I remember that they released the schedule and then the
Yes,
London
and
games
we
came
weren't
out a
sure
while
which.
later.
Yeah. I think yeah.
So June or July, I'd probably imagine though. Kinda. Yeah, July
Uh,
sounds accurate to last year.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then, yeah, tickets went on sale much closer. Like tickets went on sale after the regular season started, I believe.
No,
if I remember
12th of
correctly.
May is when they announced Jacksonville, Miami Jets, and then Falcons.
Really?
Yep.
When did they announce the schedule though? Because I'm pretty sure that it was earlier.
All right, so I have on NFL.com on the 12th of May is when they announced the London games.
Right.
Oh yeah, they released the
USA
actual schedule
Today,
on my
yeah.
birthday, May 12th.
Yeah,
forgot
May
about
12th. I have it here as well.
So
Oh,
Yeah,
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 it's
May
2
12th.
weeks
Yeah,
after
so
it?
it's the same time. It's mentioned the same day.
Interesting.
Is it just? Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
So May at some point is when we find out what games come to London,
Yeah.
what games come to Munich.
Yeah. Hopefully that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be class. All right, let's move on
Yes.
to Keane. You're up next.
Yay! So this is something I've been watching for a while. That it's kind of reached a bit of a boiling point now, and that's the collective bargaining agreement for the Major League Baseball.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. So the old one ran out at the end of last season, and normally they just kind of keep going with until they agree with a new one. But apparently this one they're not doing that, and the owners and the players are nowhere near finalizing this CBA, and they're supposed to start their preseason spring training, I think, this week, and everything's been pushed back at least a week. And if they have to push it back any further, then they'll have to delay the opening weekend of the season. So
That's huge.
getting really, yeah, really serious. And apparently, from what I was reading today, they are not close to actually having an agreement. And there's some kind of weird thing now that because the CBA is gone, that the league can't test players for like out of season workouts for drug taking HGH and all that. So it's a bit of a free for all at the minute. So
They're all going mad.
yeah, everyone's gonna be jacked up this year, and
I
hitting
can't
home
wait
runs
for
anyway. Yeah,
25 years when the Lonely Island release another
Yeah.
Bash Brothers experience.
that's all we want. Just to wait.
It's worth the wait.
True.
So yeah, be interesting to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, see when they get it started. It may result in a shortened season if it goes on for another couple of weeks. So, I mean, the baseball season's too long as it is. Like, they play, I think, 5 or 6 games a week, which is disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
I have
Their
breaking
games
more
go on so
Pickford
long as well.
news.
Go on.
So apparently at the fight on Saturday night,
Yeah.
he had another altercation with a fan who was
Jesus.
shouting at him saying, yes, Jordan, Everton are getting relegated. Everton are getting relegated. To which Jordan Pickford replied saying, what? What? Asked him to repeat himself twice before shouting parrot at him.
Nice one, Jordan. Good
Nice,
comeback.
Good comeback, exactly.
Fucking
To be
idiot.
fair, the fan was speechless and didn't know how to reply, so
That's
I
very
put down
fair.
a win. Win for Jordan. He knew what he was doing. He's a pro.
He's a pro. What a man.
How long has he been sitting on that one for? He's like, oh, the next time I'm gonna get someone.
One of these days, someone's gonna say something to me. All right. Let's see. What else have I got? Oh yeah, the Formula One, the FIA, released their report about the what happened in the final race in Abu Dhabi,
Oh, yes.
and have announced a number of changes for the next season. The biggest one being that Michael Massey will no longer be the race director,
Oh.
and he will be replaced by Herbie Blash, has been appointed as permanent senior advisor alongside Wittick and Freitas, who were race directors in I think it's DTM and something else. He was a race director in another. I can't remember what it is. The other guy was a race director in something else.
So
I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But that's
we
the biggest change.
so with Fassi being gone, right?
Yeah.
Does that essentially now mean that Verstappen has the asterisk on his win?
No.
No?
No.
Yes.
I mean, no.
But
No,
I mean,
because
if
there
they're
was so
owning that
many
it's
mistakes
fault-
made throughout the entire season.
Okay.
Like
So
I
saying
Fair.
it's
know
not
there's-
just that one.
Yeah, it's not just that one mistake. He made so many mistakes throughout the whole season. There was an awful lot of let them race and change. Like there was one race, I can't remember which one it was exactly, but like in lap 38 he decided randomly to change the track limits for turn 4. And you're like, you're 38 laps into the race.
So
Surely
what
they
you're
should have
telling
been
me-
done before it started.
what you're telling me is he was sacked for giving the people what they wanted. excitement.
I mean, so many mistakes were
Someone,
made.
someone just needs to now get me a picture of him in the Gladiator meme saying, "Are you not entertained?"
So yeah, that was the biggest change. Niels Wittig and Eduardo Freitas will
Right.
rotate in the role of race director. Radio communications between the teams and the race directors are no longer going to be broadcast, and they're going to change the way they can be done. So questions can be asked, but they're going to like define exactly how the process is going to work. So it's not just going to be they can talk to the race director at any time. I think that's a huge change, and I've seen people talk about how that like is an issue because it removes transparency. But actually, I think it's a good thing, personally, because I think a lot of the race directors were kind of playing up for the cameras, playing up for the TV audience, essentially. Like there was messages throughout the season that was like, "Oh, but it's okay when Alonso does it," or "Oh, that's all right, except for when it's such and such," kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like that's clearly just for the audience, you know. And they're also going to completely reassess the procedures related to unlapping of cars during a safety car period. Which
Just make it more streamlined so they have rules in place.
yeah, so the situation doesn't happen again where it's complete confusion.
That makes sense. Because they kind of should have had very hard rules in place so that Hamilton knew what was going to happen for certain and not just take a 50-50 gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think part of the issue is that there was rules in place and it was kind of an either or, and Massey went with a weird mix between the two. That just wasn't.
There was two options, and he went for the surprise option 3.
Yeah,
that
literally.
nobody even thought was there.
Literally, that's what happened.
100%.
So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The biggest, I think, Michael Massey's position was untenable as race director.
Mikey,
After that season,
this isn't right.
Is that right?
so I'd be interested to see how the two new race directors do. I think it'll be interesting having them rotate races. I wonder what that's going to be, because I think some people's issue was also consistency, because
Yeah,
the stewards themselves are different race to race because they're local volunteers essentially.
oh, fair.
So now you won't have the consistency of one race director over the entire thing either,
Yeah,
which is interesting. But yeah, it'll be good to see. We get closer, ever closer to the first race.
First race.
That's soon, isn't it?
It's March, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like a month away, 20th of March.
I can't remember exactly what date. Yeah, 20th of March. You're spot on. In Bahrain.
Yeah,
So
Barry.
Bahrain. So yeah, looking forward to that. A month to the day. Exciting times. Mike, what other news have you got?
So, I have my last piece of news.
Tom?
Huge developments over the weekend in terms of the Premier League.
Oh yes,
The title race is back on
wide open.
after City dropped points against Spurs. Meaning now, all is essentially if Liverpool win out, barring goal difference, they're Premier League champions.
Yeah, the essentially
Business.
it's now within Liverpool's hands
Yes.
as long as they don't slip up at any point. Then they should. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's assuming Liverpool win
Hello.
out and City win all their games except the one against Liverpool.
Yes.
Yes.
And like,
Which
it's,
they
Like
have to
there's,
lose.
it's still
it's
a long
very
way.
hard to see.
It's still a long way, but it's now, it's back into, it's a race.
Yes, it's no longer like even a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
everyone was writing it off and saying City had won the title essentially, and it's right back on. So it'll be interesting to
That's funny.
see what happens going forward.
You could say, I was a bit disappointed with all the severe weather warnings that were happening with strong winds. City, we're not prepared for that hurricane.
He said that to me
I
before,
think
and
I did.
I'm still disappointed.
I need to fit that in. I've been working on this hurricane for so
I'm
long.
still disappointed.
I still don't want to know.
Kane had a really good game against City for Spurs. That's the shit.
I said I didn't want to know.
Yeah, I know, but maybe some of the listeners would have wanted to know.
Somewhere at home, I like to think Joe's laughing at that. Please.
I need
If
this.
you enjoyed that, let us know in the comments. If you want
If
to
you
kick Mike
hated it.
off the podcast, let us know in the comments.
Or just leave a like. Comment if you enjoyed the joke, like if you didn't.
Keane, what news have you got? Any
I think
more?
I'm done. No, I think I'm done.
All right, I'm done as well. So that was your last piece, Mike?
Yes.
All right. It was a slightly longer news segment this week because we didn't have one last week, so we were catching up on 2 weeks worth of news. But let's move on to our next topic of conversation, which is
Yes.
FIFA's new loan rules. Riveting stuff.
Oh.
It is a game
Yeah,
changer.
it's yeah, all those the farmers, the loan farmers aren't going to be very happy. They'll be out of a job.
It
They'll
might
have to-
ruin
they'll
your
have to-
football manager saves.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I'll have to bring it to the Football Manager 2023.
You can't just
Oh,
buy
fuck.
all of the Wonder Kids and loan them out
Yeah.
and to see which ones come good anymore.
Oh my god. I mean, alright, so players under 21 are exempt. So you can still do a bit.
But does that not is that not offset by like if they're under 21 and have to be at the academy for a certain amount of time? Or is it just
that's
all
what I
under
thought.
21 players?
But FIFA.com, it just says, where did I see this now? Yeah, it just says players aged 21 and younger, and club trained, yeah, will be exempt from these limitations. So, club trained, do you have to be like, is it different per country, or does that mean you have to be there 3 years?
I think it's 3
You have to be, yeah.
in
You have to be there for 3
England,
years.
but I'm not sure if it's like different in other countries.
Different, yeah.
But I
So
assume like for FIFA's as a whole, they'll set a set number. So it must be. I assume that it must be 3 years overall, maybe.
Oh yeah, that they might have their own rules for
Yeah, because
what
they would have
counts
to
as
set
home
it.
base.
Yeah, because they couldn't have different rules for English clubs, different rules for Italian clubs
Yeah,
under these
yeah.
FIFA rules, essentially.
No, that's very true. So like, you'd have to see this as being positive
Yeah,
as a whole.
Yeah.
it stops the bigger clubs
Yeah.
stockpiling players. Well, first off, let's actually explain what the rules are for anyone who doesn't
Yes.
know.
Yes.
So by the 2024-25 season, FIFA has announced that you're only allowed to loan out 6 players to sides in other countries.
Yeah.
6 out, 6 in. That's the
Yeah,
case.
and it's
yeah. And
it's gradual.
yes,
so
it's
like,
gradual up until that point. So
Yeah,
24-25 is when it fully kicks in.
yeah,
It's only to sides in other countries at the moment, but FIFA has essentially demanded that the domestic football associations
Take it in.
bring in rules
Do their
in
own,
line with
yeah.
this.
yeah. And they've also
and-
set minimum and maximum term limits so that like I think their minimum loan is it says like
one
one
window, so I
transfer
think
window
it's
to
like
another.
summer to winter or winter to
Yeah,
summer,
so you don't
yeah
get...
or
but
and the
it's-
maximum of
yeah.
1 year.
1
Yeah,
year
'cause
yeah
there's been instances where a team would get a loan for 2 years and then they'd subload them anyway.
yeah.
if it didn't
This
work out,
was the
it's like-
biggest surprise to me. I didn't know that was a thing. That shouldn't be a thing.
Yeah,
to
that
begin
seems
with.
insane, doesn't it?
Like surely I can't imagine that happens often. Like subloans. Like I don't.
I couldn't imagine.
Like,
Like, I don't
that,
see why
that
it would
seems
make sense.
insane. No, it's like we got this lad from that team, but now you just want him. Okay, we'll send him to you. But we're like it's just
Yeah, it's like
Unless
if you
'cause
pay
they
us more than
couldn't-
we're paying them, but we're
Yeah,
fine.
but maybe
like,
it's a
why
case.
did you
Maybe
do
it's a case of there's a clause in the thing that if you terminate the loan early, you have to pay a certain fee. And they're like, we can't afford that. We're just gonna have to get rid of him quickly, but we have to load him out. Just
That's
take the
like
transfer.
sure, but it still
Yeah,
makes
it's
Yeah.
very
it
strange.
still sounds so weird.
There's also
Loaning a player.
a limit that will allow no more than 3 loans per season between 2 clubs.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah. And is that 3-1 each way or 3 total? Do you
3
know?
total in and
Total.
out.
Oh damn.
But then, you know what else this rule will get rid of?
What?
We'll definitely get rid of all the, it's like they've agreed a loan move with the option to buy. They wouldn't risk that these days. Right? Like, I'd like to think they'd focus on getting their youth players their loan moves.
I doubt it.
That's actually interesting.
I doubt that'll be the case. I think they'll still have loans with options to buy. I wonder if it will get rid of loans with obligations to buy, which was essentially
Yeah.
just a way of pushing
Getting
the
rid of them
cost
early.
further down the road.
Yeah.
So I wonder if instead of that you'll just have more
Mm.
set up in
Yeah,
installments.
you
as opposed
definitely
to
see a
upfront
lot
fees.
less of them then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a
Um,
good shout. I didn't even thought of that.
Loans with obligations to buy always kind of
Yeah.
seemed strange to me.
But
You
I
get
was.
to test drive, but you have to buy them.
Yeah, literally. Like, it is just a way of going, we don't want to pay for him this summer, we'll pay for him next summer. And you're like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
alright. Just get around financial fair play and stuff like that, I think, essentially.
Yeah.
So I would assume it gets rid of... Like, obviously teams will still have to figure out ways to get around those limits. But I
I
think it's
wonder-
probably less likely to be loans with obligations to buy.
Well, it just mean the prices will go up on the younger players that are under the age of 21. They'll just go shoot up so they can say, all right, get him in the club for 3 years and then we can start loading him out and reap the profits then.
But then the issue comes with you're not able to buy players under 18, isn't it?
Yes.
So you would have
Oh,
to
yeah.
buy
They'll be
them
allowed-
when they're 18.
There'll be a lot of
18,
touting then at
Yeah,
academies
18,
when their
19.
contracts go up. It's like, we'll give you a professional contract here.
Yeah,
Is-
it's going to be
is-
interesting to see if that affects FIFA's rules around buying and the transfer of younger players.
Yeah.
Oh, like I'd say they'll stick to it at the minute because they want kind of smaller nations to reap their own talent longer. I
Yeah.
would think.
Well, I think the
But
main
they
aim is
don't
just to stop bigger clubs being able to
Yes.
come in, buy all
And
the wonder
hoard.
kids, and just
Yeah.
loan them out and see who
So-
comes good.
I did a quick one on 2 teams that I thought would have a lot of loan players.
Yeah.
So as of January 20, 2022, Chelsea currently have 21 players out on loan this season.
Yeah, like that's insane.
Man City, in the season of 2021 to 2022,
Yeah.
have 36 players have been sent out on loan to various clubs around Europe.
Yeah.
That is just disgusting.
Well,
Yeah.
see, that's
Like,
the thing, because you
will-
got City they have their partnerships with, what's that club? Oh,
City have a
Just
number of
the
partnerships.
yeah, with different clubs, so that's where they put all their players in.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It does kind of defeat the purpose of like affiliate clubs now.
Now, the only team I know that are complaining about this is Vitesse. Where are all those Chelsea players going to go now?
Yeah. Like, will this just lead to a kind of like a higher standard of kind of like the Premier League under 23s, where Chelsea are still going to buy all these players, but they can't loan them out, so they'll just keep them on their youth teams and their own like
Maybe.
backup
Yeah, I think
teams.
the worry
Was
is
there
that
a
it'll-
universe where
it'll-
that happens?
Yeah, I think the worry is it'll be more harmful to clubs loaning in as opposed to clubs loaning out. But I don't think players
Oh,
on
fair.
the youth teams get the same, like that first team experience in actual competitive
Yeah.
leagues is a huge difference to playing under 23s constantly.
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
I wonder then, will this then be a push to do what they do in the La Liga, and the clubs will have a B side and put them in a lower division?
I think
And
I feel like that's been floated in England. The idea's been floated before, and the teams in lower divisions hate
Yeah.
the idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I know
It's bad enough that they have to
have-
play the under 23s in like the Papa John's trophy
Yes.
or whatever.
Yeah, that the 23s are in that senior cup already.
Yeah.
No, I don't see that going through. Like, yeah, it's
Especially
particularly in
when
England where you have so many divisions and
yeah, especially when the
it's
Premier League and the lower divisions, the EFL, essentially have separate governing bodies.
Yeah.
It seems, yeah, I doubt the
It'll be
EFL
anything.
would allow it. But it's an interesting idea.
I think like FIFA gets a lot of shit. Okay, kind of like after the whole car fiasco, my first thought after that was okay. From now on, FIFA are going to have to limit who they take bribes from and make them more reasonable countries. But this kind of stuff seems like they're going in the right direction. That they genuinely are making somewhat decent rules for the future of football.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how well it works.
Because it's actually coming in stronger than I would have thought. Like starting next year, the limit's 8,
Yes.
which is
which is a huge drop for teams like Chelsea and City who have 20 plus out on
Yeah.
loan.
now obviously some of those the 20 plus are exempt, but I think I was reading somewhere that
Yeah, some are.
Chelsea's
The
number
likes
is
of
like 13, 14
Danny Drinkwater's in
aren't
trouble.
exempt.
Put it this
Yeah.
way, Danny Drinkwater's in trouble.
Yeah. So it's a good plan. I feel like it should see a better balancing of talent. Now we could be wrong, but they're still going to hoard them and just keep them in their own team because A, they have the money to do it, and it prevents them from being good players at other teams. So
It's much harder to do for teams in England though who have the 25 player registration limit for
Cap.
domestic league for the Premier League.
because
Like,
that's something I was wondering about
'Cause
was
I did
maximum
see-
caps in football for players.
I
That's
completely
interesting.
It's
understand.
not it like in
Yeah.
Germany where you can register 99 players. for the
99
Bundesliga.
players, yeah.
I
So
saw
wait.
there.
Sorry, go on, Mike. Yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, indeed, since Liverpool had to take a player off their squad list to register Diaz, and
Yes,
I completely
Karius.
forgot the player. Yeah, Karius was registered in our squad,
Yeah.
and he was
Darius
taken off the
Karius?
20-man. Yeah,
Loris Karius, was taken out of the 25-man
No.
squad to bring in TS.
to bring in Diaz, so Diaz took
Because
his place.
I don't think Kelleher counts towards the squad because I think
No, because he's young. He's
there's
Oh,
like under
okay.
21s and again I think
I
it's
get you,
academy
yeah.
and
yeah.
under 21s. I don't think
Oh
it's
my
so
God,
like,
Larius Karius does still play for Liverpool.
Well,
so like I
doesn't
don't
play,
think
he's
it could
still
still
there.
be.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
still there.
I don't think Wonder Kids bought in would count towards the under 21s. Don't count towards the 25. If that makes sense.
No, but they will count for the loan thing, so that's until they played 3 years at the club.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
And
interesting.
remain
They
under
could be
21.
forced to stricter. In order to keep it somewhat fair, they could be forced into stricter ones of them, so that there would be less exemptions for young players. That it would be. That'd be an interesting one to bring in. So what? So they can only have 25 active players
Active
at any
players,
one point.
Yeah.
At any one point, and a certain amount of them have to be English as well. Or
And is there
British.
is there much in the way of like issues or difficulties? Can they only promote or get rid of certain number of players, or is there like a fine if you add someone, or is it just kind of
You can only register and deregister squad players during transfer windows.
really that
Yeah.
that is surprising.
So like the day after, so like say 31st of August is the transfer deadline, then you have to submit your final squad on the 1st of September. Same at 31st of January, 1st of February.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what's more surprising:
So then,
Larius Karius still being at Liverpool, or him being in the Liverpool 25-man squad. I don't know
guess
which
they
one
just
I'm more
have-
shocked by.
well, I mean, I
Well,
guess they're saying,
yeah, but up
you know,
until now.
have him as the fourth keeper. You know, if the unlikely happened that both Allison, Kelleher, and Adrian all got injured, or all had
yeah,
flu.
Surely Liverpool fans still hate him and still wouldn't trust him if you put him back in behind
I
between the
wouldn't
sticks.
trust him. That is true. I wouldn't trust him, but who else would we put in?
Marcelo
that's the case.
Pitaluga.
Beyond.
Apparently, he's a Brazilian goalkeeper on the Liverpool
Yes.
squad.
I was
Doesn't have a
was I telling
Wikipedia though.
Was I telling us shit about this player? He might actually replace Kelleher, is what they're saying at the moment.
Ooh,
No.
ooh, I hate him.
Oh, this keeper is allegedly supposed to be phenomenal. And they're already saying in Brazil that he's touted to be Alisson's replacement in the national squad.
Interesting.
That is quite surprising. Oh wait, he does have a Wikipedia. Wait, does he have a Wikipedia page? No, this isn't Wikipedia, but this is a weird one.
We'll
Yeah,
keep more.
exactly.
It's one
17,
for
right?
Premier
future.
League teams need. It's a minimum of 8 players trained in the same nation for 3 years before their 21st birthday.
Oh.
So 8 players trained in England before 21. So
Yeah,
similar to the loan rules, you need to be club trained for
Yeah.
years. Yeah, that's
So-
That is surprising.
How
Football
do
Manager.
emergency loans then happen? Would that count, or would that have
I was
to also
wondering that
apply?
myself.
how do you
What is the
How do
current
you mean by emergency loans?
emergency loan?
Like, I know the best example was Barcelona were able to do an emergency loan for
That was an
Braithwaite?
emergency transfer. They did
Yeah,
that was not
transfer.
a loan at all.
Was it not a loan?
No,
Okay, so then
they
it's fine.
literally
Yeah.
they were able to come in and just pay his release clause, and was it Granada or Getafe?
Yeah, couldn't do
whoever it was,
anything.
Were just
Yeah.
fucked because they couldn't replace him.
And he ended up in Maddox. COVID happened, and then again, he didn't play again until after COVID.
Yeah.
At that stage, everyone was back.
And now Barcelona have a forward line that used to play for Middlesbrough of Braithwaite and Adama Traore.
Yeah, I was about to say, I
Big
was like,
fan.
Harvey didn't play.
No,
Maybe
they
he
just
did,
need to
who
sign
knows?
Stuart Downing. Where's he?
They're
did
getting the band back together.
Mark Viduka is coming out of retirement. Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these loans, how they're
Yeah.
actually done. How things change. Like, will we see then a mass exodus of players from Chelsea and City that they're not able
Yeah.
to loan out? That
Oh,
they don't
probably.
want
This
sitting
season?
on their bench.
Yeah, they'll probably start. There probably will be a mass exodus in the next few years. Actually, another one that will happen that might impact the transfers is buying up a player and then immediately loaning him back to said club.
Yeah, that's something Liverpool did before
They do
with-
seem to be fairly popular.
with Naby.
Yeah,
I'd say that they'll still stick around more so than the other one you brought up, because it will be a developmental thing.
yeah,
But they're like, we want to sign him for now, but he's not good enough to play for us now, so we'll loan him back to you. So I'd say
Like
you
that-
still see a fair
that
few of
was
them.
what was going to happen in January. Was the alleged we were hoping to get
With
Carvalho,
Fabio Carvalho. Yeah.
and it was at the stage where it's like, all right, we'll buy him and then we'll just loan him back to you for the end of the season.
Fair. Yeah, like though with those having like developmental nature loans, I'd say
Yeah.
that they will stick around more so than we're loaning them to you, but you have
Yeah.
to buy them next year.
Yeah, loans with obligations. It's just so weird.
We're broke right now.
Literally, yeah. We don't want to pay for him now. We'll pay for him next year. Don't worry about it.
Don't
Yeah,
worry
so-
about it.
This summer, I'd say it'll be the big one to see how big clubs react to it.
Yeah.
And then the question
And-
is, will they be able to offload all the players they need to? Like, will they end up
That's it.
having to terminate
but-
players' contracts?
I said there'll be a good few terminations.
Is there much of a downside to terminations and stuff?
Anyone
just
can sign
kinda
up for free.
guaranteed
They
money.
don't get
You
nothing.
essentially pay out his contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't get.
I'd say they
Any
will
of
be
them, man.
fairly hard with them.
So wait, if they terminate, right?
Yeah.
And then he signs, do they have to go through tribunals then?
No.
No, there's no trouble because I know I'm using Carvalho is one. If his contract is up in the summer, and if Liverpool buy him,
Yes. No.
Fulham
That's
still get the tribunal.
That's because
Can
he's
decide-
still a
yeah.
young player, so
Yeah.
it's essentially in England. The tribunal is set up so that the
Yeah.
the selling
So-
club still gets something
Yeah,
as a return for investing in him,
yeah. So say
spending time in the
Chelsea,
academy.
Chelsea or City have all these academy players that they're just releasing because they cannot afford to keep them on the books.
Again, though, it depends on what age.
Yeah.
Like if Chelsea
Yeah.
release Danny Drinkwater or Batshuayi or
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Bakayoko, they're not going to get any
not
for
those
that.
three. Yes,
But if they get, like, if they...
say a
Yes,
16-year-old or
well,
17-year-old.
even then, I don't know if that's... If they terminate his contract,
Yeah,
I doubt it would still go to tribunal. With the Fulham one, it's just that his contract is running out and not being extended.
yeah,
It's not Fulham's decision to terminate the contract and
Yes.
pay out the rest of it.
yes. Just double checking.
I wonder now if this will lead to a weird standoff this summer, where people know that Chelsea are looking to offload a particular youngster they don't think is good enough, and then there's clubs who are interested in him.
You best
And-
believe Sean Dyche is just waiting, just survive the summer.
Yeah, but it's like
survive the summer.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of players going on the cheap because other smaller clubs, they'd like to get him for free, but
Yeah.
if they can buy him for cheap and guarantee that he signs with them as
Yeah.
a result, I'd say we'll see a lot of that, a lot of cheap signings.
I mean, that'd probably suit Chelsea as well, because they wouldn't have to pay out
They'll
the rest of his
They'll
contract.
get
Yeah.
something for
They
him.
can get the wages
It's-
off the books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like,
and
So I'd say
then
there'd be a lot
worst
of that
comes to
going.
worst, they can get in
actually,
buyback clauses.
yeah,
if they
that's what I was
think
gonna
he's
say.
still
They
gonna be
start they start putting in the buyback clauses on
Oh,
all these
God.
players.
the football manager
Yeah.
special.
In 5 years, are we going to have FIFA regulate the amount
Crack
of
down
players
on
you can have
buyback
buyback clauses on? Which are just pseudo loans, if we're being honest with them right now.
Or,
I mean, yeah, you're not
More
wrong.
importantly, is it just buyback clauses and sell-on clauses? Just put them all in.
Sell-on clauses are an interesting one.
Yeah, I was never a fan of them.
No,
They're weird.
I love a good buyback clause on a youngster, though.
If he's good, I want it back. What back?
Literally, yeah.
So far, from the most recent buyback clauses on the Liverpool ones, none of them have really made a dent to come
Oh my
back.
god. I think we have
that's
just
fine.
exposed this here. Are we going to see
Oh.
like thousands of players going unsold for buyback clauses because they are just basically loans with a little bit of extra legwork?
That's one way around it.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to send FIFA a strongly worded
Strongly
email
worded
tonight,
email.
just so they know.
Let them know
We
what's
found
up.
a workaround.
That's weird, guys.
Swear
I
to
just
God,
got an
Keith, if
email
you fuck up
from
buyback
FIFA.
clauses for me on Football Manager, I'm gonna flip.
Guys,
Well,
guys,
no,
just-
right. Well, you have Football Manager 22 from now until the end of time, and that'll always have them.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Always have them.
Guys,
true.
got an important email from Chelsea. They're now trying to buy the show to silence Keane.
I can definitely be bought out. I can 100%. It wouldn't even be that expensive.
No, they're buyback. They put in a buyback clause for our podcast. We're done.
Who are they loaning? Who are they selling us to then? Who are we working for in the meantime?
We're now part of Vitesse. Let's go.
Solid. Always been a big Vitesse fan.
It's always been my dream to be the official podcast of Vitesse. Growing up as a kid, that's all I wanted to do.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd love to be the official podcast of anything.
sitting
I talk
next
about
to the Eredivisie at the moment, Vitesse.
Our monthly checkup on how many goals have is it Ajax conceded?
Ajax have conceded 5 goals, which I believe is the same as last time we checked.
I feel like that was a few weeks ago as well.
Yeah, I think it
I think
was.
4 or 5.
Um,
Yeah, but
Ajax
plus 65
last
goal
conceded
difference.
a goal. Oh, a month ago, 23rd of January, against PSV in a 2-1 win.
Oh my god.
They seem to concede
Yeah.
1 a month because they conceded the one before that. Oh no, they conceded 2 on the 12th of December in a 2-1 loss to AZ Alkmaar.
That must be the only game they've actually conceded 2 in, because that's just
Well, they've lost 2
phenomenal.
games. What's the other
yeah,
one they
that's
lost?
weird. They must have lost 1-0 at some point, because they have 3 draws and 2 losses. Like, they're still not running away with the league, which is fascinating.
Yeah, it's insane. They drew with Go Ahead Eagles and Heracles.
Oh, we were looking at
The
this.
Go
I remember
Ahead
the Go
Eagles.
Ahead Eagles.
Oh, they lost to Utrecht 1-0, yes.
Oh, the boys.
Who was their third draw to?
Sneaky 0-0 at the start of the year.
Possibly. I'm not even sure when. When did the league start? Oh, a 1-1 draw against FC20. which is sandwiched between 2 5-0 wins.
Jesus.
Great bunch of lads.
Because it is fairly tight at the top there with PSV and Feyenoord not that far behind.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. And I still have to play PSV again. They play. I think they have to play again. I might be wrong. I think I am wrong. Never mind. Ajax do have to play Go Ahead Eagles again though. Next
Oh,
weekend on the
yeah.
27th
Oh,
of
they play
February.
Feyenoord as well. Oh, I guess they play on the last day of the year though.
Oh, our boys Vitesse,
Yeah,
Ah,
Vitesse are gonna do a job
who
on them.
who they beat 5-0 earlier in the season.
Yeah, but they weren't ready. Now they're ready for them. That's
Oh, yeah,
they've
exactly.
learned.
Exactly. Hey, there's only 5 points in it. Like that's not too much. It's not a huge amount.
No, not when you've got a plus 65 goal difference. But at least that's the thing is that
P-
it's a 5 point goal difference, but they need to get to 6 points because they're not catching them on goal difference. That's as long as the first tiebreaker is goal difference.
I mean, Vitesse sitting there in sixth with -9 goal difference. 1 point ahead of Utrecht with +10 goal difference is pretty solid. It's because Vitesse lost 5-0 to both Ajax and PSV.
Hey, they score them when they can, you know.
All right. Does anyone have anything else to add on? Actually, I'd just like to point out before we move on. PEC's wall sitting there down last on 17 points. They haven't lost a game in their last 5. That's a
you're
news
saying
article
that's
you get every
comeback
week.
song?
Oh, 100% comeback zone.
4 points, 4 points between them and Wilhelm too.
Their last
Well,
loss
the
was against
second.
Vitesse on the 21st of February
Ah.
of December.
Ah, that's what they do when they try and go against our boys.
So, maybe Zwolle might make it out of that relegation zone.
They're coming back.
Anyway, does anyone have any final thoughts on FIFA's new loan rules, which is what we were talking about?
Yeah,
I think
until
it's
we
a
got
good-
distracted
good-
by the Dutch again.
It's a good addition, I think.
Yeah,
And-
I'm looking forward to seeing how it works.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see if clubs find workarounds or if FIFA tries stamping shit out.
Is it just buyback clauses? as
Yeah,
we
is it just
pointed out?
buyback clauses?
Yeah, I'll buy this player for free, and there's a buyback clause for €1,000.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, it will be interesting to see, especially with the way they're bringing it in gradually over the next few years.
True.
Right, we'll leave it there. So, fuck the system, feed the algorithm, and death comes to us all. Thanks for listening.